My whole life, I've been under the impression that I was related to the Birdman of Alcatraz. If you aren't sure who that is, he is one of the most infamous criminals to have ever been imprisoned at Alcatraz. So today, I was going to inform you all about the Birdman of Alcatraz and how he was a psychopath who loved birds and ended up in Alcatraz. However, I recently discovered I am in fact not related to him. So instead, I'm going to be covering the 1962 escapes by three men from Alcatraz. Hi everyone, my name is Emily Hamilton, and although I am not related to the Birdman of Alcatraz, Alcatraz is fascinating to me, and I want to try and bring you all into the minds of the escapees. In case any of you are not familiar with Alcatraz, Alcatraz was essentially the most renowned prison at the time, lying right in the middle of the San Francisco Bay. It is 1 mile away from San Francisco and 2 miles away from a nearby island called Angel Island. Alcatraz contained the most notorious criminals at the time, including Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, and, as I mentioned earlier, the Birdman of Alcatraz. Because of the overall environment and design of Alcatraz, there was physically no way any prisoner would be capable of escaping, or so they thought. On June 11th, 1962, John Anglin, Clarence Anglin, and Frank Morris were nowhere to be found in their cells. The three men had been devising a plan to escape since December of 1961. Frank Morris was known to be very intelligent and had escaped from previous prisons in the past. Therefore, he was acknowledged as the leader of the group of men. The Anglin brothers, as well as Frank Morris, collected spoons from the dining hall and discarded saw blades and began digging at the salt-damaged concrete around the air vent. Behind the cells was a common unguarded utility corridor. As soon as they made a large enough hole to fit inside of, they used the utility corridor. They set up a workshop in there, and they ended up continuing their plan to escape. How did they mask this giant hole, you may be wondering? Strangely enough, prisoners at Alcatraz were allowed many things like letters, photos, books, and other random items. According to records held by the FBI, the three men were able to cover the hole with a suitcase and a piece of cardboard. In the workshop the men had created for themselves, they constructed a 6 by 14 foot raft made from life vests and stolen raincoats and paddles out of plywood they found laying around. However, to hide the fact that they weren't in their cells, they also had to come up with a way to trick the guards into thinking they were sleeping or present in their cells. And they did this by creating paper mache heads from soap, toothpaste, and toilet paper. One of the inmates also cut some of his hair and pasted it on the heads to make them look more realistic as well. From the corridor, they were able to climb 30 feet using the plumbing pipes to reach the end of their escape route. And as I mentioned previously, the morning of June 12th, 1962, the three inmates had successfully escaped Alcatraz. Another inmate who failed to escape with the other three men, Alan West, aided the FBI and police of the plan the men had been formulating for months. The Anglin brothers and Frank Morris were set on traveling 2 miles to Angel Island instead of traveling the 1 mile to San Francisco. In season 5, episode 6 of History's Greatest Mysteries, it states that the three men planned to reach Angel Island and steal a boat. From there, they would travel to Marin County and steal a car. After police had been investigating for a few days, they came to the conclusion that it was very possible the three men had made it to Angel Island. They discovered remnants of the paddles and photographs belonging to the Anglin brothers along the shore of Angel Island. Almost 17 years after the famous escapes from Alcatraz, the FBI closes the case, yet it is later reopened in 2003 And on June 12, 1962, there was a stolen car report. A 1955 blue Chevy was stolen in Marin County that morning, which perfectly lines up with the plan that the men had formulated and executed. There are other reports of the 1955 blue Chevy being seen in Stockton containing the three men, which is about 1 hour away from where the car was originally stolen. I know this may be starting to sound like a persuasive speech. However, there are so many theories surrounding this case. I just thought I would share them all with you. Another theory being that the men did survive and the England brothers sent a picture to their nephew from Brazil in 1975. You might also be asking yourselves, how does this even relate to me? And to be completely honest, I couldn't really come up with a single aspect as to how it would relate to you all. However, if you could take anything away from this speech, I would just say to go visit Alcatraz if you have the chance. It is seriously the coolest pieces of history in the United States, and simultaneously happens to be in the prettiest cities in the world, in my opinion. So thank you.